All right, so my friend and I were talking about Bioshock Infinite, and we were debating how their decision to. Okay, spoiler alert, by the way. Their decision at the end of the game to go back in time and kill Booker could possibly kill every instance of Comstock because there could be a universe in which they don't go back in time to kill Booker, or Booker doesn't die for some reason. So eventually I was thinking about how this could work, and I came up with a theory. Now, this is the theory altogether, but I will redo it so that for the purpose of explaining it in this video. So, let's see. First, we have the timeline leading up to the baptism at Wounded Knee. Okay. After this, we have the Booker timeline. Or rather, the Booker timelines. And then the Comstock timelines. Now, a Booker, or a few Bookers from the Booker timeline come into the Comstock timelines, right? And that's where the game is. Now, this is every single event, every timeline, everything in which Comstock is a possibility. All right? So, now, at the end, a Booker and an Elizabeth come back to the baptism. And they kill Booker before he can become Comstock or Booker. Now, my friend said, all right, but what about the timeline in which Booker isn't killed or drowned? What about that timeline? Well, to do, what is it? Irrational Games' work for them, in order to make all of this mess make sense, I came up with the theory that Booker cannot not be drowned. This single instance is the only possibility to create Comstock. And now, my friend said, well, what about the infinite timelines, or rather, the many timelines? Because I was arguing that we don't know if it's infinite, even though it's called Bioshock Infinite. I don't think that's something that's confirmed. I may have to look that up. But anyway, what about the timelines in which the baptism happens, and then, all of that still happens? Well, I think that it's a possibility that since time in Bioshock Infinite can converge in tears in all that Elizabeth was able to, or rather, not so much Elizabeth, but either Elizabeth or time itself works in such a way that every event, when it happens simultaneously in two timelines, then the effects of at least her actions happen in every single timeline that in which she affects it. So we have every single timeline in which Booker is eventually going to reach the baptism. And the baptism happens for every single timeline, or rather, the event with the baptism happens in every single timeline. And it happens when they kill Booker. So no matter what timeline it is, where it might have been going to go after the baptism, Booker is killed in every instance, either because of tears or because that's just how time works. Now, if there are infinite universes, then or if there are many universes, then I think that Elizabeth, as a demigod, would have been able to make these convergings all possible, especially with her tear powers. And I use the term demigod slightly loosely because of Burial at Sea, but I think it still works with the stuff that happens in Burial at Sea. I might need to play it again to be 100% certain, but okay. That is my theory for Bioshock Infinite, to have the ending make sense. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you were able to understand what I was saying from this video and my diagram. Thank you very much.